Thank you for tuning in to Gloves Off Seattle. Your hosts, Patti and Meagan, will be talking about all things Seattle women's hockey. A huge Pacific Northwest welcome to the PWHL. Gloves Off Seattle! Well, hello, and welcome to another episode of Gloves Off Seattle.
Gloves Off Seattle.
Okay, guys, this gonna be a quick one. We got to get through this quickly. Not because there's not a lot to talk about, because I feel like there's a ton to talk about, but because we are literally trying to squeeze this in. So we're gonna be talking about the game. It's Thursday morning. We're talking about the game on Wednesday night. Wednesday night. So Patti just got finished watching it
I just got finished watching it.
because she worked last night.
I had to work last night, and I worked late last night and busy morning, and then I just watched it. I watched some of it on fast speed. So that was new, something I've never done before, but
Yeah.
I felt the crunch because we needed to get this episode in. We have a flurry of episodes coming up.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
we
have
wanted, we
yeah.
want to talk about this game.
We have a lot of fun stuff coming up. And so we wanted to get this in just to make sure we talked about this game. There's a big question mark that we will talk about a little bit later on about the penalty shot and everything surrounding that, Carpy's penalty shot. So we'll go over that. Megan, I called her Night Nurse Megan.
Oh, Night Nurse Megan.
Night Nurse Megan.
Yes.
Asked, she said, we've been having conversations amongst friends, like why the penalty shot, that sort of thing. So we'll get into that, but we'll go, as I like to do, guys, we'll go in chronological order. We'll start at the beginning of the game. So
Before we get to the game, just quick shout out this Saturday.
Oh yeah,
is
Oops All Goalies female non-binary
non-binary.
yeah event. So 7:30 p.m. Kraken Community Iceplex. We will be streaming it on YouTube. We have all that set up unless there's some technical difficulties, and I'm just not we're not professionals, so
We're
we're gonna try your best. But it is set up. I think that we will be able to live stream the event, and we'll see how that goes.
And we're gonna do the play-by-play.
Yeah, well, the play-by-play on the live stream, not in the
on the live stream.
in the
Yeah.
not on the PA system. No. There's no PA system. Well, I don't know. There may be a PA system, but we're not doing the play-by-play on the PA system.
So if you can't come, if you're not in the area, and you can watch it on the live stream or on our YouTube, it'll be there, right?
Live
You can
stream is the YouTube.
I know, but you can't just
after
watch
the
it live.
fact.
You can watch it after.
Oh yeah. After the fact.
You'll hear us bumbling through the play-by-play.
Yeah, which will be entertaining, I'm sure. Okay. So now we're down to we're down to 20 minutes of time.
Sorry.
No, it's totally fine. So the first thing I want to talk about is this game, the ridiculous delay at the beginning of this game because
fast forward it.
A hole in the ice. I got to fast forward through the majority of it too.
What's the hole?
I have no idea. I have no idea. I'm sorry. And Brian Blink will probably tell us because he I'm sure knows. But the game started at 4 p.m., which for those that are fans of the show probably know that's bus pickup time in our world. So I didn't get to start the game, and it's funny because I turned it on. It was like 4:45, and I'm like,
"I wanted you to watch it live." That was like a gift.
Oh, it was a gift, but it was funny because it was like, I'm like, oh, I'm going to be, we're going to be probably be first intermission by the time I get up to it, which is fine, because I can fast forward through ad breaks and through intermission and whatever. But yeah, I got on and they were still messing around with the ice. So obviously we wanted there to be a good sheet of ice, not sad about the fact that they were, trying really hard to make sure that it was, but the game was delayed by an hour. It literally didn't start till a little after 5. So 5 p.m. Pacific time. So that would have been 8 p.m. Eastern time where they're playing. So
which is late. That
is late. Game. Yeah, for a midweek game. And I saw a lot of little kiddos at that game. I'm like, ooh, they're not going to school tomorrow. Anyway, so we finally and I didn't realize this, and Patti and I were chatting via text and whatever, that the players go back to locker room.
Oh yeah,
they don't stay. Yeah. So I didn't know. I figured just sit on the bench and wait. But
another Zamboni before the game. I mean, you can't. Yeah. Because you need to stay warm. You can't sit there on the bench for an hour.
Yeah.
So you need to stay warm. And if the Zamboni's coming out, you can't come out on the ice because that ruins the ice. It doesn't ruin it, but it does. It just mars it up when it's freezing, and so you can't do that. They got to go back and stay warm.
Yeah.
Not warm, but they got to keep their muscles warm.
Right.
They have to move. They have to, keep their bodies ready.
Stuff. Yeah.
To go.
So long story short, there was a hole in the ice that was near one of the goals. They tried to fix it with the manual, it was funny. It was with a fire extinguisher. Thought it was really
that.
It was really funny because the commentators were like, "What is that?" And I'm like, it's obviously a fire extinguisher. I was
Mhm.
like, I don't, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it wasn't a fire because they were like dry ice container. I don't know. It looked like a
Maybe.
fire. It looked like a fire extinguisher to me because of the way they were using it, and it was red and it looked like a fire extinguisher. Maybe not. Someone else can correct us if we're wrong. But they tried to do it that way, and then I think that they decided that it wasn't, the integrity of it wasn't okay. And so then they eventually brought the Zamboni out and Zambonied again. I don't know if they Zambonied the whole ice or not because I was fast forwarding through a lot of that too. So then finally,
Game
the game
starts.
started. The game started. So it's funny, I will say this, and I feel like it's so true. And I actually was saying this in our group chat last night. I feel like we always look like a different team in the first period, always. And I don't know what that's about, and I don't understand why, but it felt like we were bumbling, we were missing, passes, and it felt like we were just, frantically skating around the ice in the first period. And I'm not going to say, I don't feel like it was that way in the second or the third periods. I feel like it was just, they look different. And being someone who's non-tech, not as technical about, what's going on the ice, like they don't look like the same team during the first period.
Yeah, we definitely got outshot 5-10,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it was just, it felt like it was all charge. I did make one note. I made some notes, but Bucky's shorthanded chance in the first was
yeah,
was the highlight for me. I
yeah.
mean, that's really the only highlight I took out of the first period.
Yeah, so the Charge ended up scoring two, but it was too late in the first period. So it was really until almost, 15 minutes in, there was no scoring. So, 5 minutes, five and some change left in the first period. Alexa Vasco got her first goal, and then 4 minutes later, Katarova got her first goal
Yeah.
of the game. So Alex, that was Alexa Vasco. I keep saying Alex. Sorry. I've got Alex Carpenter on mine. Alexa Vasco's first goal of the season.
Mm, awesome.
Yeah. So then we went into first intermission, and obviously business as usual. I don't think I have anything interesting to say, and you were fast forwarding, so
I definitely fast forward through in the
yeah,
intermission, and obviously whatever the first intermission pep talk is worked
yeah.
wonders.
Well,
'Cause
and that's the thing is, it's like, what is going on that they come back out on the ice during, and we've talked about this before about, is it the way that they're positioned in the, like the way they,
oh,
because you've talked about them moving on the bench and how that's different
right.
from period to period, but then that would mean that third period they'd always be,
Yeah, and it's not. The third
yeah,
period is not like the first, but that could maybe spark it because, the defense is farther away from the change and you have to be a little more on it. Maybe we're changing a little bit more quickly and the shifts are shorter. I don't know. I'm not that technical as some people are. I'm not, even with my long-term fandom, I'm really not that analytical with the way things happen. So,
yeah,
but it's definitely, we came out a different team in the
yeah.
second, even though there were like shot and hit from the Charge. I mean, we got a
But
quick
we
shot.
caught up in shots on goal
Oh,
during second.
and it snuck up on me
Oh yeah,
because I'm
yeah,
watching the
yeah.
game and I look up and I'm like, holy crap, we're really out shooting
Yeah,
them.
we were out shooting them during the second. And so there were no penalties in the first, and then penalty after penalty after penalty, it felt like, in the second,
Mhm.
which we capitalized on.
Jesse
Jesse
Eldridge,
Eldridge. Yeah, Jesse Eldridge. I was hoping for a hatty. I was
of
thinking,
course.
yeah, we'll talk about the third period, but
Yeah.
like she got her, so two power play goals. The first one,
From what I'm calling now Jesse's office in the
yeah.
back door. And has she always been there? And I haven't really notched that.
If you look at
But
those two goals though, because so she got two goals and they were almost identical
yeah,
because she was,
there was a little more traffic in the second one. The first one was wide open net. I mean, they dinked it over her and it was like I mean, you would have had to shank that to miss it. It was like
yeah,
all net. The second one there was a little traffic. She had to fight a little bit harder, but she still got her stick on it and it
yeah,
went in. It was
yeah.
beautiful.
And it was like, I was like, and honestly, during that second Jesse Eldridge goal, I was like, oh, she's in it. Like I saw it. I
You
was like,
saw her in the
she's in
same
the
position?
same
Love
spot.
that,
Like I was
babe.
like, she's in the same spot. Like maybe we'll get another goal. And then she did.
And then she did.
Yeah.
And then the Charge answered on after the first one, the Charge
Yeah.
answered right away. And
Yeah.
it was almost the same goal. They hit it back door and it was almost wide open. And yeah, but
Yeah. Emily Clark scored that goal. So yeah, so that was in between. So, and that was actually almost immediately after they answered, which kind of stunk. It was nice because it felt like we got some good momentum going. And then they answered with that.
mhm.
So they were up 3-1, and then we came back with that second power play goal by Jesse. Like I said, it was it looked textbook, obviously, because she did it the first time and then she did it
You
again.
know what? If it's not broke, don't fix
That's
it.
right. Right. So now we're at the end of the second period and we are moving through this quickly, guys, and that's just because we're limited today.
Hmm.
Because I also we've a lot to talk about in the third period, so I want to get there. So the ending the second period, we are down 3-2 now
Yeah.
at this point. So we go into the third period, and again, Megan Carter took a holding penalty, and we killed that. We did that, we had the penalty kill at that
And
point.
another shorty chance too. I think it happened on that one. I don't know, but shorthanded, we were awesome. The Bucky chance in the first one,
Yes.
and
Yes, I think there was. I think I remember that
yeah.
there was another shorthanded chance during Megan Carter's penalty at the beginning
Hmm.
of the third period. And then they took a hooking penalty and they killed that. And then we have the Alex Carpenter penalty shot. So I you just watched it, so I just want you to describe what you saw as far as and why and so this is the question I think that people are having. Why do we go to a penalty shot rather than just have a
Power play.
penalty? Yeah, go
Penalty.
to a penalty. Yeah, have a power play, put somebody in the penalty box, go to penalty. So
Right. And okay, so I'll do this quickly. So if the player is on a breakaway and they are like a one-on-one with the goalie and they go in and somebody hooks them or trips them or holds them or some way stops them from getting a chance on goal, you should be getting a penalty shot because the player was in alone on the goalie and you snuffed their chance. You gave them no chance.
okay,
So to rectify that, you give them a chance one-on-one with the goalie and
right.
they get a chance to go and one-on-one with the goal. So on this, it was a generous call, the penalty shot. I'm not going to lie
I was like, I don't
because
think that she was that
she was
alone.
not on a
Okay.
breakaway. I mean, she had two defenders and they were maybe an inch behind her. So I'm just saying, they called a penalty shot. I'm not dissing the refs at all because
Yeah.
you know us, we do not boo the refs. We do
Yeah.
not
They have a hard job.
critique them. They have a very hard job. But she was not very much behind the defenders. So it was a generous
Or
penalty
in front
shot.
of the defenders.
Well, she was behind them because they're coming.
Oh, because their backs are to
Yeah.
the. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
no, I understand why you say
Yeah.
behind.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, wait, we're moving in that direction, but I get it that
Okay.
they're not moving in that direction.
And
So,
for our fans who don't know this, you'll know if it's a penalty shot right away because the ref's arm goes up to say there is a penalty or some
right, right,
penalty will
right.
be called. And if they have to decide instantaneously, there can't be a talk about anything, a penalty shot. So if it's a penalty shot, they're going to point at center ice to say penalty shot.
Oh,
If there's no penalty shot, when their arm comes down, they're going to say holding or slashing or
oh,
whatever
they're
the
gonna
call is, and
motion
then
the
you can see what
penalty.
the penalty is. So
Huh.
you'll know right away if it's penalty shot or penalty call.
Okay.
So, and yeah,
So the difference in this, and again, this is subjective, obviously, because they have to make that's a
it's right
split
away.
second
Yeah.
decision. Is
I'm
that
pretty, I mean, maybe Brian will count me out if I'm wrong, but there can be no talk. It's got to be whoever saw the penalty has to call it right away.
yeah? So then she gets the penalty shot because it, in all fairness, had she not been, I mean,
Tampered with.
she ended up in the net, guys. Like
Yeah.
it was pretty egregious.
Hmm.
But like had she not been, molested, that sounds really bad.
Oh, that does sound
But
really
I
bad.
know, but she would have had that one-on-one chance
He would have
with
had a chance.
the goalie.
Yes.
So now we go to a penalty shot. And so what I read about this, shout out to Ruby, our PR person, for sending out the post game notes because
Ruby.
I actually did read some of those this time. I don't always, but so this was the eighth attempt at penalty shot in, excuse me, in PWHL history.
Not Seattle history,
No, PW,
PWHL
yeah. So the
history.
whole league history, it was the eighth attempt, and you said you had. I didn't remember seeing. I don't remember seeing any penalty shots in our league up
I
until
mean,
this
we've
point.
had one.
We have.
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure. I mean,
I mean, I remember
don't fault my
shootout. I
memory.
remember
Oh,
shootout.
shootouts are different.
No, I know, but I'm saying like I remember shootouts. I don't remember a penalty shot because I feel like
I
that's
feel like we were at the rough and tumble.
maybe. Okay, anyway, so again, someone can correct us or tell us and call us that, Brian, whatever, or someone else. I mean,
Someone else can do it.
anybody. Yeah,
Anyone.
anybody can.
Because we are we are wrong. We have been wrong.
Not even about being wrong. It's just about not being able to recall every single detail at a moment's notice. So, and we're looking at game notes. We're not scrolling the interwebs for all this information.
No,
So,
too.
anyway, so so according to Ruby's notes, thank you, Ruby. We need something to do when we say Ruby. I don't know, whatever. We don't do it that often. Woo,
Ruby,
Ruby, Ruby.
Ruby.
um, So eighth attempt and
They said it on the
they said
broadcast
it was
too.
on Jocks and Jills.
No, on the
Oh, the
play-by-play.
play, so they said it, did they say eighth attempt?
They didn't say eighth
Yeah,
attempt.
yeah.
They
So
said it was
they
the
said
first
the
in history
first,
though.
okay, so anyway, go back and watch this because it's beautiful. It is the most triple deek fake, whatever you want to call it. Slow, but I
And
mean,
drag
he just like
in.
I was like, is she gonna stop in front of her? Like that's what it felt like
You're
she was
allowed
gonna
to
do.
slow
No,
down.
she
Yeah.
anyway, somebody made a comment, oh, she's oh, she's good at hockey. I'm like, she's really good at hockey. Somebody
Carpy.
else made a comment like we don't talk about Carpy enough, and I'm like, it is 100% true. We agree. We do not talk about Carpy enough.
She's a slow burn like incense.
That's right.
I love that.
That's what the USA coach
Uh-huh.
said about her. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I was like, who's
Olympic coach.
yeah, the USA Olympic coach. So anyway, and then she scored, and it was beautiful. And Gwen Phillips is an amazing goalie,
Amazing.
and I love the fact that they were just teammates on Team USA, and then she scored against her. But anyway, it was a beautiful goal. But what the announcer said, and what I made an assumption on immediately after the announcer said, it was the first penalty shot goal
Successful.
in PWH. Well, I don't think that they said successful because that probably would have registered with me. I think they just said the first penalty shot goal
Okay.
in PWHL history, which is true. It was just there. I thought that meant that there wasn't another penalty shot attempt
Oh.
before that.
They've
But
all been
that's
thwarted before.
yeah. So that's the news. The news is that it was the eighth penalty shot attempt in the league's history and the first ever goal penalty shot in the league's history. Congratulations, Alex Carpenter. Well
Well in the
deserved.
books. Very well deserved.
Yeah,
Name
yeah,
in history.
absolutely. And we're sad that, the game didn't end up differently because it would have been even more.
If that was the game winner,
Yeah,
oh man, sorry about that, Carpy, because
yeah,
that would have been just poetic.
yeah. But that tied us up. So now we're tied up 3-3 in the third, with 10 minutes to go and we are working,
Yeah.
working hard. And I've said this before. There's a frenetic feeling that they get in when they're not ahead at the end,
Mm-hmm.
and that it was feeling a little like that. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you have any other notes, but Katarova scored again um,
On the power play.
on the power play
And
at the so that was the only frustrating thing. I don't know that it was a good penalty. That was what the
it
commentators
was
were
a
talking.
generous penalty.
Yeah,
The hooking on Bucky that
yeah.
happened on the boards in the offensive zone, our offensive zone. But here's my thing, like this is the number one power play unit. Ottawa is the number one power play team. So they have the best percentage,
Oh,
power play percentage.
in the league.
Yeah, and we
Yeah,
shut them down their first three tries.
yeah,
Okay, when it was on the line, they got it, and it was immediate. It was win a
yeah,
face-off, score a goal, which is what we always say is
yeah.
the best. That's the best plan. Why don't we do that every time?
We should do that every time,
And it was
especially because we have Carpy and she's winning faceoffs left, right, and center. So yeah,
yes, but Ottawa did it. Their power play took it home for them,
yeah,
and there's nothing we can do about it or say about that
right.
because they
But I will say this. In the last 2 minutes of the game, after that goal,
we did
that
not give up.
we did not give up. And there was a point when I thought Jessie Eldridge was going to get her hattie, and that it looked like we were going to get the game tying goal
Mm.
and go into OT, which would have been fabulous, except for those little kiddos. I was honestly thinking about those kiddos, and I'm
Oh,
like, it's
no
already
bonus
an hour.
hockey.
Well, it's already an hour late start,
Yeah.
and it's going to go into bonus hockey.
Ugh.
But anyway, it didn't happen.
Mm-mm.
So we ended up losing 4-3, and it was a good game. Again, I don't know what happens. I don't know why the first period is such a struggle for us. I wish I could pinpoint that. And like I was, in the group chat with Brian last night talking about, yeah, Brian, clink, talking about, things that he feels like the team could do differently or whatever. And I'm just not that technical to know
Mm-mm. And
whether any of that is.
he has an eidetic memory too, so
Oh no, for sure. I mean,
it's just amazing.
he is, and he understands hockey better than I do because he's Canadian and,
It's
was
in his blood.
born into it.
Hmm. Hmm.
But I will say for those of us who are like me, I can watch it. I can watch them. I can feel like I can see and feel like what's going on, especially when we're in person, like even more like you can feel the energy coming from the ice and how they're feeling. And it just, like I said, like the first period, it just doesn't ever feel like they're fully tuned in, and then they come back out in the second and sometimes it works for us, obviously. Like we haven't won 0 games, but it's a struggle, obviously, if we're always coming from behind, which is what it's been feeling like lately.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
not I don't, I'm still excited about this team. They're down two of their,
Top
star
players,
players right now. I
gold
mean,
medalists.
yeah, Hillary Knight and Hannah Bilka are both out. Hannah Bilka, I think, is still day to day with upper body. We found out Hillary Knight played in the Olympics with a torn
MCL.
MCL. So,
What
again,
the?
we don't, yeah, like, wow, that
Yeah.
number one, wow. But number two, like, we don't know what's going to happen. And that's the thing is that at this point, the team has to figure out how to play without, at least without Hillary, and obviously for the time being without Hannah.
Mhm.
But yeah, I don't think they're the only ones that came back from the Olympics injured. I think that there's other teams that are struggling through
Nursing them in
that.
the open or behind the scenes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
struggling. But
Or just tired too.
yeah,
I
just
mean,
tired because
it
they
was
had a
a
big,
lot.
yeah. So for our team, we don't have another game until Wednesday the 11th. For some reason, we thought there was a game on Friday. There's not. There's no game on Friday. There's the next game is Wednesday the 11th, which we will be missing. It's a home game when it's the. We think, knock on wood and all things, that it's going to be the only home game we miss this season. We thought there was a chance we were going to miss another one, but
We
we're
don't want
not. We're going to
to.
make it. We're changing our plans. We have plans to be out of town, and we're changing our plans because we really don't want to miss any home games. It's
Mhm.
important to us. So. Yeah, we're those crazy people that change their plans to
I
be
don't
at a
think
hockey
crazy
game.
is
No, okay,
appropriate. We
we're
are
fan.
those
We are
fans.
fans. We're fans.
And yeah, especially the Pride game. We don't want to miss the Pride game.
Yeah, so that was the game we thought we would need to miss. We had it's a long story, but we were spending we bid on a condo in Vegas for Patty's birthday weekend and got it in an auction and then
Charity auction.
charity auction and then realized after the fact that the Pride game was that weekend
Yeah,
and we
they
were
don't want
like,
it.
oh yeah, that was a gut
So
punch.
I've been thinking about like flying home in the middle of it and then back to Vegas. I
Yeah.
mean, it's my birthday. It's my birthday trip.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Not to, we don't need to go in the details, but
no.
we might be those people that might be flying home for a day to watch a hockey game and then go back. So we'll see. We
Mhm.
still haven't figured out exactly what the logistics, but we did decide. I think the decision was made. We're going to be at the game one way or the other. So I know Sadie, I told you we weren't going to be there. I lied. We're coming. We're going to be there.
We're
Save
gonna
all,
be there.
save all the Pride merch for us, please.
We're gonna have to save up for that. I'm
Yeah, we
gonna have
do.
to start budgeting now.
We're gonna. Yeah,
Okay. Bucky had a great game. She was very
she
noticeable.
was very
Jessie
noticeable.
Eldridge. Oh my gosh. Can she be an Avenger? Can she be on the Avenger
Sure,
line
we'll make
once
her
we're
an
in the
Avenger.
line
Yeah,
back?
sure. I mean, I like her on the 3AB line, but I feel like all the lines are kind of jumbled right now
Mm-hmm.
anyway. So,
To be.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure. I think the other thing is, again, Jenna Buglioni. I noticed her on the ice again.
In
There
the
was a
face-off
couple.
circle too.
Yep, there was a
Good job.
there was a couple plays. I saw her hustle, and I was like, oh, yes, like get it, girl. So. Yeah, I think everybody's doing their best. I hope they're not too frustrated. I hope that they can all just take it in stride and move on to the next. I know that the team for sure is going to be back in town Saturday as season ticket holders. There's a thing
Invite. Yeah.
invite if you're a season ticket holder for practice, and then oops,
Oops,
all
all
goalies.
goalies.
Yeah, again,
Saturday night.
we're gonna say it again and again because this episode's gonna come out Friday, so I'll put this out Friday morning, and then yeah, the oops, all goalies event is on Friday night, so 7:30, free for fans. Please
Free.
come.
Patty's favorite
Yeah,
price.
please come out and just support. It's going to be such a fun event. Kyle, the organizer, has already said it's going to be his best event yet. So
Of
he
course
is,
it
yeah,
is.
he's ready for that. We're ready for it. And yeah, I think, what are your last words since we're trying to
I
get
don't.
this done before my next
Yes.
meeting?
I
No,
know she has a meeting coming up. Really?
no.
It's been brewing in my mind.
Oh,
Pink scrunchie.
oh, I was
Just
like, no, I have no idea.
yeah, I just like pink scrunchie. Oh my gosh, almost a hattie. Ooh, we should have pink scrunchies thrown on the ice instead of a hat.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Ooh, or with our hats. I so wanted a hat at work last night. Like, where's my hat? Because I would have thrown it in the pods.
That's funny. People would have been like, Patty, you're crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good idea, though, guys. We can think about pink scrunchies on the ice for Hatties, or
Mhm. Or
Jesse
Jesse's
Eldridge,
hattie,
Jesse
because
Eldridge
I feel
Hattie.
it coming.
Yeah,
No pressure.
no, but she is on a 5 game streak. This is her fifth game in a row where she has scored goal.
Amazing,
So
Jess.
yeah, just she is definitely stepping up, and it's great to see her. It's great to see her do that.
Yeah.
So it's great to
Get
see everybody
rewarded.
on the team do that. So, um, can't wait. Can't wait for the next game. We'll be watching remotely.
Where are we gonna watch? Are we gonna watch it together? Thursday night? No, Friday. night? I don't know.
I'll be watching it
He's out of
Wednesday
town.
night in my
Why?
hotel room. I'm not doing anything that night besides
You're going out to dinner.
early.
Oh, okay.
Carla told me
Oh, yeah,
early.
she
She's
got
like
her
7 o'clock is too late for me. I'm like,
Oh,
okay.
senior
So
dinner.
I know we were talking about if we could go someplace and watch the game. And she was like, "What time's the game?" I was like 7. She's like, "Ooh, that's too
Ooh.
late for me." So I will be probably back in my hotel room by 7 p.m. watching the game, or very shortly thereafter.
I'll
So
be at work.
yeah, sorry,
Dang
babe.
it. All right.
Okay. I think that's it. 2 minutes to spare. We're doing good,
Yes.
guys.
Good job, babe.
I know. So yeah, we have a special episode coming out on Monday. More to come on that. That's with some more exciting stuff coming up in March. Just so everybody knows. And yeah, we'll just continue on. We'll carry on. Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
And that's the show. Tune in next time for another episode of Gloves Off Seattle.